Alright, so I'm on day 17 of semen retention, and I have to say, without being too overdramatic, the benefits are real. Now, this is very early days, and I want to give a disclaimer. I have some proof here that I've gone 17 days in semen retention for some reason. I need to give you evidence, right? I'm not sure how to exactly, prove it, but I'm just gonna, assume that you believe me on this, okay? By just how I'm acting and, whatever. But the benefits are real, but we'll say that a lot of people do overhype the benefits early on. I'm sure eventually, you get a lot of female attraction that you never used to get, and that's one of the benefits that really excites me to continue this journey. And yes, I've seen little sort of signs so far, but day 17 is still so early. And before this, before I would be on this semen retention journey, I would relapse every other day on porn. That was the average sort of thing for me. Now, if you're someone like that now, I can at least get you to the point where you're, get to day 17 at least, right? And I'm probably day 18 or something, but I just lost track of what it is right now. And by the time this video go out, it will be another few days. I don't want to get too obsessed with the streak per se, but let me just go through some of the benefits and why I think it's really worth you. Well, I know it's worth you doing semen retention. Well, first of all, porn is a drug addiction. Let me just say that. So if you ever, struggling to quit porn, it's because you're addicted, right? It's not because you have some kind of BS reason, I need to release now and again because it's just to satisfy my love life that isn't there at the moment. No, it's a drug, right? You don't need porn in your life at all, and it's honestly one of the worst things ever created because it's keeping so many men weak. And you know the obvious reasons, right? But there's a reason why porn is so accessible and it's free everywhere. There's a reason why. In the UK at least, I think they've got some ID age verification thing now, but still, you can just slap a VPN on there and away you go. But after this 17 days of being on semen retention so far, there's so many other benefits that I overlooked or didn't think I would sort of benefit from that I've actually got right now. And it's just the first of all, is the insecurities that I used to have. Things that I used to be insecure about people, watching, looking at me do my gym workouts, or what are people thinking about me. That's basically gone, right? There's still a little bit there, but there's so much less. I didn't really think about, improving on my insecurities and the things that I basically said to myself. Watching porn and masturbating and relapsing especially has a massive effect on, what you say to yourself, your insecurities. And I gradually realized, oh my God, actually, you know what? I've not been talking shit about myself the last few days, really. Before I'd be oh, you're a piece of shit, you're a loser, you don't do anything, oh, how can you do this? Oh, you relapse again. All of these thoughts, they're just not there because I haven't relapsed. Okay, so that's the first sort of main benefit. The second benefit is the fact that I just have my confidence is sky high now. I can talk to anyone, have a normal conversation with them, and I wouldn't really feel that kind of insecure or that nervous talking to them because I now see myself as a prize. I know that sounds really egotistical, and I'll make another video about this where I'll go full ego and everything, but I no longer see myself as someone trying to climb a mountain just to get what I want. I feel now more as if people should be appreciative to have me in their presence. That sounds so freaking out there and everything, but you kind of understand, right? If you go 17 days or longer on semen retention, you'll understand, right? And I just want to say right now, to interrupt this video, I can literally help you get there, and I so badly want to help so many guys do this because I'm going to go through even more benefits now, okay? I know it might seem overhyped right now, but trust me, it does get better. It does take a while to sort of reflect on yourself and see, oh wow, there's actually a lot more benefits than I thought. But I've said so far about insecurities, confidence, and then just what about literally just wanting to do more things. Things become a lot easier for me. For example, now I think it's 6 o'clock or something. Yeah, it's 6:30 in the evening. And I would never go to the gym this late. The latest I've been to the gym was probably 6 o'clock at most. I'm going to be doing a gym session 7 p.m. I've never gone that late. Why have I never gone that late? Well, first of all, usually in the evenings, I do other things like basketball and whatnot. I'm a basketball coach and player, so that obviously comes first. Secondly, it was because of work. Sometimes I work the evening shifts. But thirdly is that I never used to go this far through the day and then go oh, you know what? I actually want to go to the gym today. Because I had other things in the morning, right? I had other things that I had to do, right? And by this time of the day, I would push the gym off. I'd be oh, well, I'll go tomorrow morning, right? And then tomorrow morning would come round, and then you get busy with something else. So you have, you sleep in. And it's just crazy to think now that I've just suddenly got this motivation or this want or need, or I feel like I have a call here now to go to the gym at like fucking like 7 p.m. And like, there's no need. I could literally just have the night off. I could just sit at home. I could, watch porn, masturbate, play video games, eat some chocolate. And I'm sure I will probably eat some chocolate and play some video games afterwards. Why not, right? But I don't really feel the need to, I don't feel like I have to force myself to get outside the house anymore. I just do it. A lot of these benefits, right, they are like feelings. They are feelings. Like if I say, oh, you will experience this on day 12 of no fap, it's like, it's not so much that you experience it, you just kind of like feel it internally. I know that sounds like so spiritual. I always go on about like spiritual stuff and how I'm not religious and all that, because I think it gets a bit sort of, the message gets a bit lost in like word salad when you sort of say, no, you become closer to God and everything. And it's no disrespect to anyone who is religious, by the way, but it's like, I have no idea what it means when people say, oh, you become closer to your creator and all that. It's like, that doesn't sort of like give me a motivating reason to not fucking like jack off to some female models, right? I just don't find it that hard to climb the mountains that supposedly were in my way before. It's like talking to people now, like going to the gym and just sort of saying, hey bro, are you right if I work in with you ever? I don't usually do that, but sometimes it happens where someone's waiting on my machine and I just literally ask them, are you waiting for this machine? Because I'm happy to work in between sets. And stuff like that at the gym is just so simple, but yeah, I was making new friends. And these guys are probably like, they're really buff guys, like in their 40s at the gym I go to. Just happened to be the time I was at there, and I'm just making friends with this new guy. I mean, like, I met this new guy now. I'm not gonna say his name, I was gonna, but it was just sort of like so natural to me. And I'm thinking like, I would have been so intimidated by this guy had I had not been on, semen retention. And again, not everything gets solved by semen retention, I will say, but my God, does it make a difference? And I haven't even gotten to like the attracting girls part yet, because I genuinely feel like there's so much more to come with that. I've only experienced just the cherry on top at the moment, only the tip of the iceberg. I haven't even, got to the point where girls are like wanting my number and, to touch my body and everything. I don't know. I don't know yet how far or how extreme it gets. I know that that is a benefit, because I know so many other people who've gone on these long retention streaks or whatever and felt that. Now look, I'm not looking to fully, to never bust again, right? Because that's obviously not going to happen. But things like quitting porn and doing that, all the fucking crappy habits, yeah, I'm getting rid of all that. And I just feel like a completely new person. I don't feel like, I feel like old Evan just like doesn't exist anymore, which is so weird to think. It feels like I've literally just lived a separate life, or lived in a separate dimension for half my fucking life, because I've been addicted to this horrible substance for over 10 years now, just over 10 years, I think. And it's mad to think I know like roughly when I started watching it was when I was literally just after puberty, I think, really, age 13 or so. And it's like, I have had this whole life where I've just missed out on, because I used to relapse every other day on average, let's say. It was about that. And yes, I had some times where I might have gone like a week, without relapsing, but I knew it wasn't going to last, because I didn't have these fucking reasons of like the amount of pain in my life and the amount of pleasure that I realize how good it is to retain. And again, I haven't even told you like how exactly, to retain. And if you go to the link in the description, I can literally help you on a much more one-to-one basis, especially if you feel like you're an exception to the case. But the main sort of point I'll drill home is that if you have enough pain in your life to change, you magnify as much pain as possible to doing the bad habits, and you maximize the amount of pleasure of quitting the bad habits, then you will eventually change. I literally tell myself, if I relapse regularly, that is directly corresponding to the amount of money I make, which is $0. Okay? I haven't made almost any money online by, relapse every day, because you just don't have that kind of drive, that energy in you to do anything else. You feel like it's a fucking, like, such a hard task to sit down and record a YouTube video, whereas now I wanted to come to gyms, like, late in the evening. I wanted to record loads of videos. I just couldn't wait. I just don't want to wait till tomorrow, because I have all this energy now. And I know that if I didn't use up this energy, that's just going to be circulating around, and it's going to appear like I have more urges. And now, don't get me wrong, it has been difficult sometimes, because you're breaking out of these patterns of, like, constantly doing it. So you are going to go through some kind of, like, withdrawal phase, and that's just how it is. But the reality is that if you want to do anything in life, you're going to have to go through some pain or sacrifice to get there anyway. And if you see that as like the biggest pain ever, then you'll never change. If you see that, oh, I have to do X, Y, and Z, or I have to cut out X, Y, and Z to have the life that I want, then you're already thinking about it in a negative light. You're already thinking about like, doing some kind of like hard work is a bad thing and I should avoid it. So you need to pick your poison, is what I say, right? You're gonna have to pick your poison, right? If the poison is that you no longer fap, and unless it's with obviously like, real experiences or whatever, then I don't see that as much of a negative at all. But the problem is you do, because you think of all the stuff you're missing out on. Think of all like the highly like dopaminergic things that you're gonna miss out on. But you don't realize that once you actually retain more things, or basically everything else becomes more enjoyable, because you're not depleting yourself from the most enjoyable thing a man can feel. So I've got plenty more things to make videos about, so I'm going to leave this one here. But again, if you're ready to start retaining and you want to fucking quit that horrible addiction, because I know how bad it can be, and you want to experience those life-changing benefits one day at a time, then go to the link down below is where I can help you. Have a good one, and as always, remember why you're doing this.